My name is Tycho Newman. This is Black Friday.
Sports Saturday with Cam Leon and Brian Jones is coming up next.
Good morning, sports fans. This is Cam Leon. And I'm Brian Jones. Welcome to Saturday Sports. We're going to start today in the world of tennis, where a young tennis prodigy is ready to go pro. That's right, Brian. Simone Nichols, the 17-year-old tennis genius who started classes at the University of West Sylvania this fall, chose to go pro earlier this week. She made that announcement just in time to be eligible for the first Grand Slam tournament starting just a few short minutes from now. Nichols was a huge win for the Westie's tennis program. Her analytic style of play took the amateur circuit by storm, where, using her uncanny precision, she would absolutely destroy her opponents on the backswing. Here's just a few highlights of this remarkable young woman's career. I spoke to her shortly before she announced she would be attending West Sylvania State this fall. Simone Nichols didn't grow up in a tennis family. Her father is a geologist, her mother a chemistry teacher. But when she first picked up a racket, she knew it was love.
I have to say, my parents were really focused on academics. But once I showed them I could do schoolwork and play tennis, they were on board.
I spoke to Nichols at her family's home in Michigan. Although taller than most girls her age, Nichols doesn't dominate the court with her physical presence. She's the only girl among 4 siblings. She seems shy and bookish. Nichols excelled academically with a 4.2 GPA and graduated second in her class. Your coaches have said that you have an analytical style of play. What does that mean?
I've never really been sure myself, but I've always tried to send the ball to a place my opponent can't get to. It didn't really make sense to me until Coach Robinson explained it to me. He calls it court IQ. I just take in all the information, process it, and deploy it when it's most necessary.
Like your match at the American Open.
I guess that's a good example, yeah.
At the American Open Amateurs Tournament last spring, Nichols pulled 2 come-from-behind victories using that court IQ. Coach Leo Robinson has been Nichols' tennis coach for the last 7 years.
I've been coaching for nearly 40 years at all levels. I haven't seen too many players bring their brain into the game. They think tennis is all about speed, agility, and power. What Simone's done is slow the game down, make it more like a chess game.
Say more about that.
Well, you saw that at the American Open. She sends these long volleys that you can't always tell where they'll land, but she knows. Her opponents think the ball will land outside the court. It doesn't. They think that they can get to the ball in time. They won't. She knows.
How did she do that?
It's just pure court IQ. Some players train for it, but Simone, she just has it.
I guess I'm just not seeing why her style of play is so revolutionary.
It's revolutionary in a sense that Simone is bringing a higher level of play very early in her career. At the end of the day, we have a young woman just at the beginning of her career. She's still developing her style. And you know, in tennis, the greatest asset isn't size or speed. It's their mental agility. Simone is analyzing the game intuitively and calling smart plays. They don't always work, don't get me wrong. Still, they're smart.
Do you think she's ready for the next level?
Absolutely. She is for sure one of the best players I've ever had the honor of coaching.
And speaking of going pro, plenty of sponsors have come knocking. And not just apparel companies. Even the wellness industry is trying to get some of that Nichols magic. Cadmus Pharmaceuticals is hoping to get her to rep their line of fitness shakes. But all of this doesn't really interest Nichols.
I love tennis, but I'm also definitely going to finish my degree.
So, picked a school yet?
Well, I'm definitely keeping that under my hat for now.
Well, good luck. I know you'll do great. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Wow, a great kid with a bright future. Stay tuned to Sports Saturday as we see Simone Nichols, tennis prodigy, take the court for the first time. Don't go away. And we're back. Just a few minutes before the opening match of the Grand Slam tournament. Simone Nichols about to make her professional debut. I'm looking at the court now, and no sign of Nichols, as I can see. I can see that her opponent is asking the umpire where she is. Something's going on. Wait a second. A new player seems to be taking Nichols' place. Is this a last-minute replacement? What's going on here? You can hear the confusion in the crowd. 1 second, Brian. I'm getting word from the court that it is indeed Nichols. Ladies and gentlemen, you are apparently looking at Simone Nichols right now taking her spot on the court for her debut match. If it is indeed her, then she's undergone a remarkable transformation, Brian. You said it, Cam. Physically, she looks... clearly Nichols has been in physical training all summer, but that is clearly shadowed by how she looks, well... African-American now? That's right, Brian. One moment. We have confirmation from officials that it is indeed Simone Nichols. They're not providing any explanation at this time. Her opponent looks as surprised as any of us. I'll say, but Simone Nichols will debut today. We have to go to commercial momentarily, but we'll be right back.
And commercial. 60 seconds, guys.
What the actual fuck? I know! Do you think they replaced her? With who? They've got to have ways to check that it's really her, and that would be a bit, obvious. Do you think this is some kind of prank? A prank? Yeah, like those guys who say they saw or shot Bigfoot. Just don't compare it to Bigfoot on the air, all right?
10 seconds.
I'm not that stupid, Cam.
In 5, 4.
And welcome back. We're just at the start of the match. Nichols has the serve and... An early start for Nichols there with her first point and a colossal power backhand that just found no reply. That's right, Brian. I don't think that she's been affected at all. That volley was crisp and precise. Nichols serve again and... Did you hear that power? Another point for Nichols. That was an amazing display of... Just sheer power, Cam. You can see just how naturally she moves across the court. I don't think her opponent reckoned on a newbie having this kind of force. I agree. It looks like Nichols is dominating this match. But let's not forget that this is a sport she's been playing since she was... You said it, Cam. Let's have a look at the instant replay. Just look at that power. It's 30-love now to Nichols. Here comes the serve. And it's into the net. Maybe the nerves are starting to get to her. Well, it's her first pro match, Brian. It's natural to be nervous. Let's hope that she doesn't become too reliant on overpowering her opponent with that serve.
But you didn't try to
And here's the opponent with the serve. The score is 30-15 to Nichols. Think that Nichols can keep her lead? Here comes the serve. Point to Nichols. It was looking a little iffy there. Nichols' opponent throwing a racket in frustration. I can see why. Nichols is like a wall. Nothing gets past her.
It did look a little dicey for Nichols, but I think we saw some of that court IQ in play just now. It looks like Nichols is getting a sense of how her opponent scores so that she can devise a...
Nichols is setting up the serve. It's match point. Oof, no joy for Nichols. Match point denied.
Ugh!
Whoa, she'd better keep her cool. Outbursts like that don't look great in professional tennis.
It's pretty normal to be frustrated when you give up the match point. Opponent serve now. And match point to Nichols. An incredible debut for one of the game's most promising new players. Already we can see the press corps converging around her and Coach Robinson. Can we get a feed?
I'll let Simone answer that herself.
The question was, why didn't I just power through? Well, it's my first match, isn't it? I don't want to give away my secret sauce just yet.
Whose call was it to make this Simone's opening match? Was it yours
And
or...
the answer to that is that it was her call. Simone took a risk, but that risk paid off. It was a smart move. She won the match.
What was your biggest asset going into the match today? Did you make any changes that greatly improved your odds of winning?
I won't deny that Simone's come a long way in terms of physical conditioning, but her biggest asset has been her intuitive understanding of the game. She can improvise on the spot, and that's crucial to winning matches in tight margins.
What kind of physical training did you do?
What kind of physical training did we do? Nothing too unusual. Again, don't want to give away all our secrets.
How much of this victory would you say is due to Simone's pure physical talent as a player, given her recent change?
Beg your pardon?
So much of tennis is physical, you know? Strength and size, speed. From where I sat, it looked like that's the game Simone played.
Well, Simone has been playing for most of her life. I would say she's special in that she brings a new focus to the game.
So you're saying that her change had nothing to do with training? Nothing to do with seeking an advantage in the game? Yes or no, coach?
Well, the thing is...
We're not commenting on that at this time.
Look, the people have a right to know. It's well documented that black athletes tend to be bigger and stronger than the white athletes. Did you and Simone do anything to gain those advantages?
Thank you all. That's all the time we have.
And there you have it, folks. The debut of one of the most naturally gifted tennis players of her generation. I'm sure we're all looking forward to seeing what is in store for young Simone Nichols.
That's right, Cam. With the display of court IQ, the future looks bright for her. I can't wait to see her play again. For Sports Saturday, I'm Cam Leon.
And I'm Brian Jones.
See you next Saturday.
The roles of Cam Leon and Brian Jones were played by Graham Rowat.
The role of Simone Nichols was played by Jordan Cobb.
The role of Coach Robinson was played by Angelique Lazarus.
The press reporters were played by Cornelius Mohr and Jody Harvey.